You're tuning into Gatekeeper Amplifiers. Old man stop sign, my 6PO. I got down.
Yo, Gatekeeper here, out here around the northeast end of Big GA, baby. And here we have a good old port style 6-pill. Rest in peace, my good buddy Stickman. He's the one that helped me, pretty much taught me how to work with these design 6-pills. They are a little more unique style that comes from an old school Motorola style. You'll hear me use the words like a hybrid coupler style. You'll look at the old school Motorola, you'll see the 3 ports right here, and usually you'll see what's called more of an auto transformer, which will be a 1 to 3, a 2 to 1, a 4 to 1 type transformers, and each individual section will be loaded at a feed point of 50 ohms on the input and the output in the Motorola designs. And I have no idea who was the first one to actually do it this way, but it's an outtake on that, where all the feed point impedance is being matched right here at the splitter. All the output impedance is being matched right here at the combiner. Not all of it, of course. All of it together is the transformers wrappings, windings, the compensation capacitor. This is what these two caps are, compensation capacitors, and the combiner along with the coax and all that. But I love building them. They're fun to build. Not too much longer. I want to try to retrofit these with some other devices I have around here. But basically, this is for my buddy Mr. Old Man Stop Sign. And this is not what he ordered. He did not order a 6-pill, candy painted, board painted, all that. No, that's not what he ordered. He just ordered a simple 6-pill. Just a simple 6-pill. But because things took a lot longer, the time took a lot longer than anticipated to get this started and get it done for him, I took it to the next level and pretty much said he deserves this. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time just talking. I'm trying to learn how to make my videos a lot shorter. Now, we are going to be driving this with this little beauty. This is an amplifier that me and the sweet thing built. She soldered every single thing you see on the inside while I held it for her. I'm still putting her through training, and it ain't gonna be too much longer. I'm gonna put her in front of a board with all the components, and she's gonna have to build it all by herself. We're getting very close to that. Cool little case is a Pride electronic case. Came from Pride Electronics, really cool. This is for sale. So a lot of you guys been wanting to get some Gatekeeper technology or whatever. This is for sale, and I am asking $280 for it. It is just a 454 2-pill, nothing major. That is $280, and that includes the shipping. So real cool, little neat deal. We didn't have anything to label the front switches. I'm gonna make a whole separate video with this, but this is on and off. This is SSB delay on and off. Alright, when this button right here is in low, that means no attenuation. Okay, so you can look at low being high. Up, this resistor comes in line with a little bit of attenuation. So, nice little 454 2-pill driver. Alright. So first person to contact me via text is yours for $280. That includes shipping. And also, I do want to hear in the comments, which I'll do a separate video. That'll be a separate video, so I'm not going to get into all that. All right. I do have some bad news. Y'all may have been hearing me talk about my peak meter right here. This meter right here. It is completely died. I started noticing some weird stuff with it. Like I'd come out here and it wouldn't be working, and I would literally pop the 9-volt battery out and push it back in, both 9-volt batteries, and then it would start working. Like it's almost like something inside needed to be reset. It's really weird. And some other weird stuff was happening before that. So I've been dealing with that. Come out here, take the batteries out, pop it back in. Weird, man. And then it just flat out just completely stopped working. So I don't have a PEP meter for this video. It sucks. I know a lot of y'all like to see the peak watts. So we're just going to have to look at the average power for this. I just got a 1,000 watt slug in both of them. You can see the difference of them, you know, and kind of look in the middle. But these units right here on regular battery voltage, you know, is usually going to do, you know, driven right, anywhere from, you know, 800 to 12, 13, 1400. You know, if you get it on some good volts, you know, you can see up to 15, 1800 out of them. It's pretty cool. And average power 4 to 6, maybe a little higher on battery voltage. Get it on up there, you know, on higher voltage, you can see up to 1 kilowatt of average power, which I have done time and time again. All right, next thing I did notice is I got my trusty Tech 9 Technologies 240 amp power supply. Let me get my zoom back right here. God, I love this new phone, man. I think we're on 1X, okay. But anyway, I've got a lot of cables hooked up here to get everything hooked up properly with a lot of things, with bees and that. Got a little bit of voltage drop, I noticed. That's why I've got this meter right there hooked straight to the hot bus, to just give me an idea of how much voltage is actually getting to the unit. What I'm going to have to end up doing is I basically got cables going to the back of the supply. They come in with these cables right here, and they connect up to these style cables. It's just a little bit too much hooked in one. What I really want to do is get this supply off the floor, get it up here on the top bench right here, which I just need more room. I need to get my shops what I need to do, but there's a little bit of voltage drop happening through these cables, so we won't be sitting here. And I don't plan on hooking this up to the unregulated power supply. We're just going to do a basic test just so you can kind of see what it's going to be doing in the vehicle on 13, 14 volts. I'm not going to take time to hook it up to the unregulated power supply and all that good stuff. So Be right back. Let me hook this driver up. I got it hooked up by itself. 1 second. Alrighty then. One more cool little thing here. My buddy Carlock. They basically ran out of the very fast LED fans I've been a fan of for 10 years. But I noticed they still had some 140 millimeter fans. So I got with my good buddy Carlock and made me some adapters. As you can see, that is an adapter, and that is a 140 millimeter fan. Bigger fan, a little bit more airflow, right? A little bit more CFM. That's the way it goes. So I'm about to just buy out this company for the remaining fans they have, and start using up these nice little adapters that my buddy Carlock made for me. So that's another appreciation. Big thank you to you, Mr. Carlock. Thank you for that, brother. So let's see what we're working with. Just average power in this video, y'all. I do apologize again for that. This is passed through both boxes. Oh yeah, hardly no movement whatsoever. Brake. Oh. Alright. We're on this power supply right here. On the little GK454 driver. Let's see how much average power this is going to be giving us. Oh yeah, about 120. Oh yeah. I got my dead key turned up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So we got about 100 on that one. Oh, about 120 on that one. Just the difference of both the slugs. So we're going to be putting about 100 watts into it. Now, let's turn that one off, and let's just see what the 6-pill's doing with the radio only hitting it, just for the fun. Alright. Oh yeah, so we got about 200. Oh yeah, almost 200 watts. Oh yeah, here's your input reflect just with the radio hitting that 6. Oh yeah, good and low. Got it mic'd in there, got a nice doorknob right there, which is way oversized than what you truly need. So let's kick both of them on and see what we're rolling with just with the bench radio, okay? This is just a bench radio. Let's see where our voltage is dropping to first. Oh, 13.6. Yep, we've got a bit of a voltage drop happening here. Average power, oh, yeah, right about 500 watts. Oh, yeah. Right there about 450 to 500 watts average power. Oh, yeah. Good input. Alright. I wish we could keep this up to 15 volts. If we were on 15 volts right now, 15.5, we would surpass our 600. Because remember, my rule is when it comes to these transistors, if you can't make at least 100 watts average power per transistor, something's going on. Something's wrong. That's usually my my deal there. So let's hook up the stronger radio. Which is a perfect time for this time, but a big RIP and a big shout out to Mr. Stickman. Let's hook up the Stickman radio. BRB. Alright. We got the Stickman radio hooked up. We're increasing our drive from 100 to 145 average power. Let's first see the voltage drop. 1335. It's pretty much staying right about there. Average power, about 700. Yeah, about 650, 700. Alrighty. If I did hook up that to the power supplies you've seen me use in the past on 6 pills, I know good and well would be at least 800-900 average. But she's working. It's a pretty box. I've already ran it a little bit and everything's staying good and cool. These are some really cool amps, man. So yeah, I got to do some work on some wirings of this supply over there, so it's not hooked up to multiple things getting voltage drop. Because I'm telling you, man, that voltage drop is real stuff, and a lot of people don't take time to hook up their meters directly on the actual supply hot bus, so you can see what it's actually making. Because if you're just looking at the voltage on your supply down there, that's on the other end of the cables. So, so there you go. Appreciate you, Mr. Old Man Stop Sign. I hope you really enjoy this amp, brother. I'm going to put my hands on this amp and pray on it before it goes out. And that's not a joke. I do that a good bit. Because I especially how long he's been waiting. I mean, it may sound silly to a lot of you. It really may. But majority of you know, Gatekeeper's not a religious guy. No, sir. I believe that man made religion. I'm not religious. I just believe in the big man that sits on the circle of the universe. Difference from religion and believing the truth, the way I look at it. I don't follow it. I do my absolute best not follow man's way. And I do pray for these amps, man. I know it sounds silly, man. I know it does. But what can it hurt, right? What can it hurt? So let me get the top on here, get the screws on here, and we'll come back and just show everything put together. Let's get to it. One thing I did notice about this particular voltmeter, RF can mess with it a little bit. I'm going to try another one on a future project, and if it kind of does the same thing, I'm probably not going to use them anymore. But I just, you know, there was a hole right there, and I was going to just plug it, you know, plug it up, but I was just going to plug it up with that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give my buddy a voltmeter, man. Give him something there. At least something's doing something. But anyway, there you go, man. Nice little 6-pill. Candy painted, beautiful blue. So we'll work on getting this thing packaged up for you and get it on out to you, big brother. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right there, that video next. Gotta fix my peak meter. I really want to show the peak output of that little smaller amp right there. I may just go ahead and just order me a new peak kit and put it next day. I think I'll go ahead and go do that now, actually. Well, this is old Gatekeeper, y'all, out here around the beautiful backwoods of Georgia. We on to the next project. Got a 2x8 base to finish up. Thanks for hanging in there again with me, Mr. Old Man Stop Sign. Your buddy, Gatekeeper. God bless. 73. Alrighty. We decided to do away with that doorknob. I felt like the amp could do a little bit more, at least on the peak side of things. And because, as you know, earlier in the video that you watched, the peak meter was not working. Well, I've got myself a new peak meter now, and once I seen how much peak it was doing, yeah, I was like, yeah, let me take the doorknob out. The reason I had that doorknob in there anyway like that is because I've built so many of these amps, I know where they're going to be normally. But this time, since the HG, there has been a little bit of changes in HG since I built a 6. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and just put a brass tuner in here so we can get it, you know, tuned out the best it possibly can be. So we went ahead and mounted a brass tuner in there, and it actually tuned out below 150. So I'm gonna write that down in my notes just so I remember next time. So anyway, I'm not hooked up to the regulated power supply down here at the moment because I've already had my cables out here ready to go. We're hooked up on the unregulated supply over here, the old what I use for my desk over here. This bad boy, the old armadillo. It's got 2 big old iron core transformers in there, and it's floating. Well, that ain't what it's floating it. That'll drop. So what it's going to do is when I key up, it's going to drop to about 14 volts. Ooh. Alright, so we're hitting about 14.8, 14.9 under key. Alright, 2,500 watts. This is just with the bench radio going into the 2 1446s. Ooh, a little bit more, 1,500 watts PEP. Very close to 600, very close. Alright, just for the fun of it, we will hook up just a little bit bigger of a radio. I'll be right back. We've already done this, but I've got it fine-tuned now a little bit better, so we're just going to see what it does. Alright, y'all ready for this? We're peaking out of about 1,500, but now take a look at the bird. 1,000 watts low. That's called in the corner, my friend. If I can't make a 6-pill do that every time, something's going on now. What's the volts dropping to? Dang voltmeter. Wow. 13.7. We're doing right there about the same peak. 1,500 watts. 1,000 in the corner. So this bad boy is ready to rock and roll. And just to show you how much we were just hitting, we were hitting it now. 2,500 watts slow, got line in between that and the 5. Goes 250, so we're driving about probably close to 300 watts at this point. About 160 bird. 160 bird. So another successful old school style ported 6-pill. Only thing left I have to do is I need to check the pass through, and I may have to tune it. I may not. I can't remember just off the top of my head with this relay, since I am using that right there. So let's turn off this mammoth. It's even got a voltmeter right here. Really cool. Yes, sir. That's really cool, man. Just with this meter right here, we did volts, amps, and RF. Really cool. Alright. I can't remember if I done a video with the top on. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. This is just a quick update video. The owner of the build really wanted to see the peak watts before I shipped it, which I don't blame them. You know, some people like the peak, some people like the average, some people like all of it. Me, myself, I like it all. So I don't blame him, man. And good thing he did, because I was able to fine tune and get a little bit more. I'm not perfect, guys. I'm not perfect. Sometimes there is a little bit further you can take an amplifier to get a little bit more out of it, to get it a little bit closer to that output looking purely resistive. No capacitive reactance, no inductive reactance. Purely resistive. That's what we're looking for on the input and the output. The old gatekeeper said that. We good and gone, y'all. 73. Can't wait to do the next build. And the next build is... Whoop! That's all I'm going to show. I'm gone. Bye-bye.